Now that we are done with question 1, let's go to question 2. Somebody again with the memorandum will just go and confirm that to us. When these learners send these question papers, they send them without any memorandum. But because I know my stuff and I understand the language of mathematical literacy, the probability of not getting these things right is right. Let's continue in this. Let's continue. Now in question 2, they say load shedding is a reality in South Africa at present, which is not true. Mr. Randolph decided to buy a generator for his family to use during load shedding. Maybe it would continue after the elections, I'm not sure, but it's highly probable. Given below is an advertisement for a generator that he intends to buy. And this is the generator. I cannot draw this, but it's a generator, please. Suppose that a car would represent a generator. Because it has some wheels, so we would say it's a car. This is a generator called the Yobi 7.5 kVA 4-stroke key. They say now the price is 13,499, and they say it was 13,999, and you will save 500, which is true. The company selling the generators offers the following payment options illustrated in the table. So we have option 1. Let me get another marker. We have option 1. We have option 1, which is cash payment, and we have option 2. So what happens in option 2? Hire purchase agreement, 18% deposit, 18% deposit, and 16.25% per annum interest charged. Interest charge on balance. Okay, and they say this balance must be paid off in equal installments over 12 months. For 12 months, equal payments. That's option 2. All right. So this is what we have. We have a Yobi 7.5 kilo volts ampere 4-stroke key. Now it's 13,499 and was 13,999, save 500. So you have 2 options of buying this. You can either pay cash, which is 13,499, or you can go for option 2, where you pay 18% deposit and then 16.25% per annum interest charged on balance, and then the rest of the money would be paid on a monthly basis for 12 months. And that is fine. So what are we saying there? What is the question? Use the above information to answer the question that follows. In 2.1.1, they say calculate the percentage discount offered on Yobi 7.5 kilovolts ampere generator. Calculate the percentage discount offered on Yobi 7.5 kilovolts ampere. Right. Percentage discount. They say now it's this and was that. So we want percentage discount. So meaning percentage decrease. Okay. So how will I find that percentage decrease? I would say, okay, percentage discount equals final amount, because they say now it's this and was that. So always bigger value subtract the smaller value. So I would say 13,999 minus 13,499, and you would divide this by the bigger value, which is 13,999, and we would multiply this by 100. And then what value will we get there? Uh, 13,999 subtracting 13,499, dividing this by 13,999 and multiplying this by 100. And this gives me a value of 3. Where is this? It gives me a value of 3.57%. So that should be the percentage discount, because remember the question said calculate the percentage discount, so which is a percentage decrease. You would take the bigger value always, this, subtract the smaller value, that, divided by the bigger value, multiplied by 100. This is how you would calculate the percentage decrease. And it has been decreased by a percent of 3.57%. Such a very minimum percentage decrease for us there. And then 2.1.2, what is it that they want? They are saying to us, Mr. Radolf stated that he has budgeted 1,000 per month to buy the generator using payment option 2. Okay, verify showing all your calculations whether 1,000 per month will be enough for the monthly installment. Okay, so this individual budget, it's 1,000 per month, and we are not being told how many months that he has budgeted that amount of 1,000. They just say Mr. Radolf stated that he has budgeted 1,000 per month to buy the generator using payment option 2. So let's say maybe for 12 months, because obviously he must have seen that you will have to pay for 12 months. So maybe let's assume the individual has budgeted 1,000 for 12 months. And then now let's see if the amount will be sufficient. Right, they said option 2, it's 18% deposit. You deposit this. So let's find out what that value would be first. So I would take 18% and I would multiply that by 13, because they say now it's this and was that. So now it's 13,499. And somebody can just say here 18 over 100, or you can say 18%. The answer would be the same. So I'm just going to say 18% multiplied by 13,499, and I find a value of 2,429.82. So this is the amount you have to pay for a deposit, 2,429 rand 82. That is 18% of the price, currently 13,499. That's fine. And then they say you have to make 16.25% per annum, this is per year, interest charged on balance. And remember, this is a hire purchase, okay? So meaning a hire purchase is always calculated on a simple interest formula, which is A equals P into 1 plus IN. So hire purchase are always on simple interest formula. So P will be the principal amount that you have. That is fine. And then what is it that we want here? We want the future value. So this is the deposit that you make, which we will add to the total price. So you would say 13,499 plus this deposit that you make, we add it to the current price, which is 13,499 and 2,429.82. We are adding this deposit to the original price, and that should give us a value. I'm just going to say answer plus 13,499, and you would get 15,928 rand 82. Okay, and then they set 16% per annum interest charged on balance. So I will take this value, which is my value of P, 15,928 rand 82, 1 plus, what is the interest? 16.25%. The number of years here, the number of years, please, it's not the number of payments, which you would say it's 12 per year. No, number of years, that is 1. And then what value will we find? So I'm going to take this value times 1 plus 16.25%, and I would find a value of 18,517.25325. You don't round off in finance, you will only round off at your final answer. So this is the value that I get, 18,517,25325. Now this value, I would divide this value, which is this 18,517, and I would divide this by 12 to find out how much you must pay on a monthly basis, and to see whether the 1,000 that he has budgeted would be enough. So I'm just going to take an answer and divide that answer by 12. And that should give me 1,543.104436. Sorry, 38. So is it enough, the budget of 1,000 per month, in order to pay for that yobi? Somebody who followed this step would say no, it is not. For you can see that we get a bigger value there. So somebody would say no. Somebody would argue and say it is never and ever enough. Okay? But let's try to look into this to see whether this is correct. The value that we have got there of 18,570. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that amount? Were we correct when we took this value and we added that value to this? No, we can't. You have already paid the deposit of this. So you cannot add to the original. No, you must subtract from the original. So let's replace this with a subtraction. These questions are very good because I want to show you some of the mistakes that many learners can do. So this is how I conduct my tutorials. I would first try to show a contrasting way, and the reason is because you have already paid a deposit of this. So we are subtracting that from the original. So meaning this amount of 13,499 must now be decreased. And then now you go to your calculator and you now say 13,499. Let's subtract 2,429.82. And you will get a value of 11,069.80. Very good. So this is the amount that was deducted because you paid a deposit to the original amount. You get this. Now we can go to this now. Just making a few changes. Just making a few changes. So I would take my P as this, 11,069,18, and calculating this now. I would take an answer and multiply it by 1 plus 16.25% times 1. And I get a value of 12,867.92175. And it is this value now that I will divide by 12. So I'll just say answer divided by 12. And I get 1,072.326813. Now you have done things very correctly now. So will this be enough if we budgeted 1,000 per month? No. No, it will not be enough. Very, very important. And then when you have done that, now you understand the fundamentals of Mageba, Ndabezeta himself. Right. Let's go to another question. So I start first by making mistakes. and then showing you the correct way of doing that. So let's go to 2.1.3. 2.1.3. And what is it that they are saying here? Mr. and Mrs. Radolf are considering paying cash for the generator and dividing the payment in the ratio 5:3 respectively. How much will Mrs. Radolf contribute towards the payment? So they split the payment in the ratio 5:3. And you must listen to the statement, Mr. and Mrs. Radolf. So this is Mr. and this is Mrs. So Mrs. will pay less than Mr. And they are considering a cash. And I know that the cash is 13,499. So what am I going to do here? You're going to add these two ratios. You're going to say 5 plus 3, that will give you 8. And then you take that 13,499. Okay, and then you are multiplying this by a value of 5, and you are dividing this by total number of 8. Is this correct? I think so. I think so. I think this is how we should do it. I think we are sorry, this is Mr. I'm very sorry. This is Mr. We are looking for Mrs. I'm sorry, that should be 3. And then let's see what value we would find. So we have 13,499. I multiply this by 3 and I'm dividing this by 8. And Mrs. Radolf will pay 5,062 rand 125. This is how much Mrs. Radolf will pay. And then when you have done that, now you know that you are done.